Samantha Carter is in Sunnydale. She dreams of what could have been before waking up to what is. Tara is her lifeline to Faith's past. The Watchers Council has discovered the Air Force ran a background check on Faith, and they are not happy. Welcome to TH Stories 80. Now, let's begin Chapter 5 of Born into Darkness. Sunnydale Western Hotel, 0630 hours. Second Lieutenant Samantha Carter scanned the throngs of newly commissioned officers searching for a familiar face. All around her were people she barely knew, milling around between the friends she had made during her time at the academy. But there was one face in particular she was hoping to find. Then she heard a familiar voice call out, "Sammy!" Her Aunt Betty was rushing toward her, holding the hand of a small, dark-haired girl. "Sammy!" "Aunt Betty!" Sam exclaimed, running to embrace the older woman. She kissed her aunt's cheek before stepping back, wiping away a tear. "Second Lieutenant Samantha Carter," said Betty proudly, cupping Sam's cheeks. "Your father would be so proud of you. He called, by the way. Said he's on his way. Just got back from Washington." "Just in time to meet this pretty little girl?" Sam asked with a warm smile, kneeling to greet the child who peeked out from behind Betty's leg. "Hi." "Ellie," said Betty, gently brushing the girl's hair. "Say hello to your mommy, sweetie." "Hi, Ellie," Sam said softly, extending her hands. "I know I wasn't there before, honey, but I'm here now, and you'll be seeing a lot of me. So how about we go somewhere? Just the two of us." "Mommy?" Ellie stepped out from behind Betty's leg, and Sam's smile vanished. Her knees gave out as she stumbled backward onto the ground. Ellie's face, which had looked so vibrant just moments ago, now bore dark bruises. Her arms and hands were marked with injuries. "Mommy, it hurts," Ellie whimpered. "Ellie?" Sam gasped, turning towards Betty, whose lips were moving but no sound came out. When Sam turned back, Ellie was older, around 10 years old, with her arm in a sling and cuts along her leg. "Why weren't you there, Mommy?" the girl asked. Sam brought her hands to her mouth, stunned and tearful. "Mommy, why couldn't I stay with you? Why didn't you find me?" My Ellie," Sam whispered, rising to her feet and reaching for her daughter, only to pass right through her. Suddenly Sam was face to face with another version of Ellie, the same girl she had seen lying unconscious in the SGC infirmary. This Ellie was older, angrier, her hands clenched into fists and eyes burning with fury. "I hate you," the girl, Faith, said coldly. "You weren't there for me. They could have killed me. You were supposed to protect me, but no one did. Where were you, Mommy? Where were you?" "Ellie!" Major Samantha Carter sat bolt upright in bed, heart pounding, sweat beading on her forehead. She leapt off the bed and rushed to the bathroom, barely making it to the toilet before vomiting. After flushing, she stood at the sink, gripping the edges and staring at her reflection in the mirror. She tried not to break down again, as she had the night before, after returning from the motel, after seeing the squalor her daughter had been living in. "You stayed there for months, Ellie. Why? Why didn't anyone take you in? What happened to you? Why were you in Sunnydale in the first place?" Still gazing into the mirror, Sam remembered the missed calls after arriving into the room, several from SG-1 and a few from Dr. Fraser. She had called them back and explained that in the rush to investigate Faith's case, she had forgotten to turn her phone back on after the flight. She'd been relieved to hear that Faith had woken up earlier that day and spoken briefly with the team before falling asleep again from exhaustion. But the relief was quickly replaced by shock when she learned about the arrest warrant issued by the Sunnydale Police Department. Later, General Hammond had reassured her, Our official story is that she broke into an Air Force base under an alias. So the case falls under our jurisdiction. Colonel O'Neill's friend from the FBI and Major Davis are already working to resolve the issue with the local authorities. And so far, we've kept this off the NID's radar. Once Dr. Fraser confirms your parentage, she'll be placed under your guardianship. Thank you, sir, Sam had replied. She had also spoken to Dr. Fraser, who said the DNA results would be ready the next day. The two women had chatted for a while until the doctor said she had to get some sleep. Now, in the early morning light, Sam walked out of the bathroom and retrieved her charged flip phone from the nightstand. No new messages. She realized then that she hadn't eaten the night before. From her laptop bag, she took out a chocolate bar, unwrapped it, and took a bite as she sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the curtained window, then at the blank television screen. Her reflection looked back at her. I've had that dream since the day before I graduated, she thought. But it was never like this. Ellie always looked happy. Sometimes she had blonde hair like mine, sometimes Ron's dark hair. We'd meet up with Dad and Mark and we'd fly together. She'd laugh so much. But this dream had been different, darker. Because of her past, Sam thought bitterly. If I could, I'd punish the Lehane family, ask Thor to beam them into deep space for what they did. She took another bite of the chocolate bar, then wrapped the rest and placed it beside her laptop. But I need to know how Ellie survived, how she became Faith. Before I can tell her that I'm her mother, I need to know what happened. Glancing at the clock, she saw it was only 6:30 a.m. She began some light calisthenics, followed by a hot shower. First things first, she told herself as the water streamed down her body. Contact Tara. Maybe she's taking a summer class. Call after breakfast. Better to wait until after 9, just in case. By 7:15, she was dressed and ready. Carrying her laptop bag, she walked down to the lobby and asked the young man at the desk where she could find a good breakfast spot with Wi-Fi. There's the Espresso Pump, he said. Good coffee? He nodded. Sam thanked him and left for her rental car. 10 minutes later, she pulled up to the small cafe. It was a little crowded, but open air and cozy. She walked up to the counter and ordered a large black coffee and a warm bagel. Thanks, she said, glancing at the sleepy blonde's name tag. Sarah, is it? Yeah, Sarah yawned. Sorry. Late night? Yep, Sarah said, handing her the change. Carter took her order and returned to a corner table. She pulled out her laptop and then inserted a USB stick which allowed her to access a secure wireless connection. Never leave home without it, she mused in reference to the USB stick. While browsing, she looked up and noticed a redhead entering with a younger brunette. They seemed lively and familiar with each other. The brunette yawned as they made their way to the counter. Carter smiled faintly and returned to her search. She looked up Sunnydale's recent history. She viewed reports on the high school explosion, the mayor's alleged heroics leading to his death. Then she searched for Tara. Finding her dorm number through the UC Sunnydale directory, Sam called, but no one answered. She left a message. Hi, Miss Maclay. This is Major Samantha Carter of the U.S. Air Force. Your ID was found during an investigation into a break-in at a base in Colorado Springs. You're not in trouble, but my superiors and I would appreciate speaking with you. I'm in town until the end of the day and currently at the Espresso Pump. I'd be happy to buy you a coffee or anything else you prefer. She left her number and ended the call. After a refill, she returned to her table and checked her email. 15 minutes later, her phone rang. The caller ID read SGC. Carter, she answered. Hey Sam, came Dr. Fraser's voice. I've got the second test results. And? Sam held her breath. "She's definitely Ellie," said the doctor. Sam closed her eyes, exhaling deeply. "Thanks, Janet. I'll inform General Hammond." "She's your daughter, Sam. I need to know what happened. Did you know she's been in Sunnydale for months?" "No. Any idea why?" "None. But I called someone who I think might be her friend. Janet. She was really living out of a motel. It was bad." "When she woke up," Janet said, glancing at Faith's vitals on a monitor, "she didn't mention any friends or family." "The family part makes sense. But no friends? After living in one place for that long?" "That's what I hope to find out," Sam replied. "When's the deployment?" Carter asked, referring to SG-1's upcoming mission to the Tolan homeworld. "In 4 hours," said Janet. "They've already checked on Ellie." "Find something, Sam." "I will," said the Major. After the call, she stared at her laptop, then opened a new file and began typing. "My dearest Ellie," she wrote, "I've been writing these letters since the day I lost you. My therapist said it might help. A way to remember you and the life we should have had." The espresso pump grew busier as the morning crowd streamed in, but Major Carter kept typing. "Tara's room, UC Sunnydale, 0815 hours." It had been nearly 15 minutes since Tara had woken up and hopped into the shower to get ready for her first class at 9:30 that morning. She walked into the bathroom and closed the door behind her, missing a call from on her dorm phone. The call was soon transferred to her voicemail. She pulled the shower curtain closed, turned on the tap, and let the warm water run over her body. As it soothed her skin, her thoughts drifted to the day she met the Scooby gang. It was soon after being released from the hospital following her encounter with Faith. As she turned to rinse the soap and shampoo from her hair, she recalled calling Giles a few days later, nearly a week ago. She had already been in Sunnydale for almost 2 months and hadn't made any close friends. She was content going to her classes and returning to her room, occasionally attending local Wicca group meetings. That night, Tara called. Giles had met her in person. Sensing that she was lonely, he had invited her to Buffy's house. Tara smiled now at the memory of meeting Buffy, Joyce, and Dawn. They were so welcoming, she thought as she rinsed her hair again. The home was so warm and inviting, nothing like Dad's house. She had talked with Buffy and Dawn while Giles helped Joyce in the kitchen. Later, she met Xander, Willow, and Oz, who had come over for dinner. Tara smiled as she remembered Xander flirting with her, even while she couldn't keep her eyes off Willow. She had felt a pull toward her, like two magnets drawn together. The attraction was undeniable, but before Tara could say anything to anyone, she discovered that Willow and Oz were a couple. That was when she realized the connection between them and mentally kicked herself for not seeing it sooner. But she had also learned something else that night. Willow wanted to become a practicing Wicca. Tara had smiled when Oz told Willow he supported her desire to explore Wicca on campus, but also warned her to be careful when it came to magic. They had stopped talking when they remembered there was a guest at the table who might not understand what they were talking about. That was when Tara told the group she was already a practicing Wicca, much to the surprise of Giles and Willow. It was also the night she learned that Oz was a werewolf, and that Buffy was a slayer. Now, Tara slowly stepped out of the shower and wrapped a towel around herself. She walked into her room and noticed the light blinking on her answering machine. Curious, she strode over and pressed the button, surprised to hear a message from Carter. Without hesitation, she picked up her phone and dialed the number the Air Force officer had left. "Carter," came the voice on the other end, accompanied by the background murmur of several people. "Hi, is this Major Samantha Carter?" Tara asked. The woman confirmed that it was. Tara quickly apologized for not answering earlier, explaining that she had been in the shower. She mentioned that she had a class to attend and asked if they could meet at 11. Sure, Carter replied, glancing up from her laptop. 11 it is. Is there somewhere we could meet? If it's all right, Tara said hesitantly. I can meet you at the Espresso Pump? Got it, said the Major. I'll be at the far rear table to the left of the entrance, away from the counter. All right, Tara replied, nodding even though Carter couldn't see her. It was only after hanging up that Tara realized she had just agreed to a meeting with a complete stranger. She picked up the phone again, intending to call Giles or Buffy to let them know what was going on, but paused. It's a public place, she reassured herself. I should be all right. Espresso Pump, Sunnydale, 11:15 hours. The Major was on her fourth cup of coffee with her eyes fixed on the laptop screen. She continued typing the final page of another letter to Ellie before she registered movement, the movement of a figure headed directly toward her. Looking up, the Air Force officer smiled and stood as the young blonde woman in an orange skirt and tie-dye top approached the table, her bag slung over her shoulder. Miss Maclay, I presume? Asked the officer, extending her hand. Major Samantha Carter? The young woman replied, nodding as she shook the officer's hand. The Major motioned to the empty seat across from her. Please, call me Sam, she said. Tara smiled. And you can call me Tara. Can I get you a drink? Sam offered. No, thank you. Tara replied with a shake of her head as she placed her bag on the table. All right. Sam reached into a laptop bag and took out a small plastic bag containing a card. Tara, we found this on a girl known as Faith Lehane. Is it yours? That's my ID, Tara said, staring at the contents of the bag. She looked up and smiled nervously. I mean, yes, it's mine. Tara, Sam said gently, how did she come to have this card? Is she all right? Tara asked quickly. Yes, the Major assured her. She was slightly injured, but we're taking care of her. But back to my question. Oh, Tara hesitated, then explained how she'd run into Faith the day she left Sunnydale. Faith had robbed her and stolen her car. However, Tara added that it had seemed as though Faith was reluctant to do it, that she just wanted to leave. I think in her desperation, I think she just needed to get away. I see, said the Major. Tara noticed a mixture of emotions flicker across Sam's face. The Major leaned back in her chair, closed her eyes briefly, and then asked if Faith had done anything else. She took $1,000 from my account and another $500 from me at the hospital after she... Tara's voice trailed off. She immediately regretted saying it when she saw the wave of sadness in Sam's aura. Yet, something inside her whispered that the sadness wasn't for her, but for Faith. I'm sorry, Sam said sincerely. She pulled out her cell phone. We found $800 in a bag Faith had stashed at a motel in Colorado Springs. I don't have it with me, but I'll make sure it's returned to you. Oh, Tara said, surprised. I'll make sure the rest is returned as well, Carter added, already dialing, despite Tara insisting it wasn't necessary, that she had enough money for school and day-to-day expenses, and that a friend had already taken care of everything. But the Major seemed distracted, already lifting her phone to her ear. General Hammond, sir, Carter said as she smiled at the nervous Tara. Could you have the SFs assist the local police in locating a stolen vehicle? Yes, sir. It was driven by Faith. I'm with the owner now. Yes, sir. The plate number is... She asked Tara for the plate number and then relayed the information to the general. And then they spoke for a few moments longer before ending the call. Hammond had told Carter he received Dr. Fraser's report on Faith. He'd authorized Carter to disclose her relationship with Faith and had granted her discretion about what to reveal regarding Faith's break-in at Cheyenne Mountain. "Thank you, sir." After she ended the call, Carter turned back toward Tara once again. "Have you known Faith long?" Sam asked Tara. No," Tara said. "The only time I met her was at the hospital." "Do you know any of her friends here in Sunnydale?" Sam asked. Tara shook her head, visibly nervous. Seeing her discomfort, Sam leaned forward. "Tara, you're not in trouble. I'm just trying to piece together Faith's movements. What she's been doing since leaving Boston, what she was doing here, and why she broke into a secure military base in Colorado Springs. The best way to understand her is by talking to those who might have known her. She stole from you and attacked you. I understand that," Sam continued gently. "But I promise she won't hurt you, and she'll never know you spoke to me. What's puzzling is that she's been here over 6 months, living out of a motel. It's the same thing she did in Colorado Springs. There she lived under an alias. We only recently confirmed that her real name is Faith. But we don't know much about what happened between Boston and Colorado Springs. We're trying to fill in that gap." I may know someone," Tara said softly, closing her eyes. "He helped me after the attack." "Tara," Sam said quickly, "could you introduce me to him? Please." "Oh, okay," Tara nodded. Watchers Council of Great Britain, London, 11:15 a.m. US time. Rose had served as the personal aide to the head of the Watchers Council for years. She knew Quentin Travers' obsessions well, his desire to shield the council from outside influence, his unwavering commitment to outdated traditions, and his belief that slayers were nothing more than tools, weapons to be wielded. A few months back, she was present when Wesley Wyndham Price called to inform the council that Buffy Summers had officially refused to follow their orders. Buffy's rebellion against centuries of tradition enraged Travers. He halted all support for her upcoming battle against the Mayor's ascension, hoping the pure demon would kill both Buffy and Faith. That way a new Slayer would be called, one loyal to the Council. "That would be our Slayer," Travers had shouted that day, slamming his fist on the desk. Rose had flinched at his fury. Miss Summers and the others will die, leaving the next girl to inherit the Slayer line, with the full support of the Council. Despite his predictions, Buffy and her allies survived and destroyed the Mayor. Still, Travers got what he wanted. A new Slayer was activated. A watcher in the Hamptons reported the activation of his potential Slayer. Travers, gleeful, ordered her training to intensify and shifted focus to eliminating Faith. It was Rose who later discovered that Faith had survived in a coma. She passed the intel to Travers, who immediately arranged for a council-loyal nurse to monitor her. Faith would be observed, and if she showed any signs of waking up, she would be forcibly transferred to London and executed in the traditional way. 2 weeks after the new Slayer's activation, the council discovered Faith had vanished. The rogue Slayer was on the run again. Rose led the search. She tracked Faith to Colorado Springs thanks to a watcher who'd spotted her while escorting a potential Slayer's family to a restaurant. He provided a description of Faith's disguise. When Rose informed Travers, he dispatched 2 special operations teams to capture or kill her. That mission failed. Strangers had intervened and taken Faith, wounding one of the operatives. "She was stabbed?" Travers had asked over the phone with Collins, the team leader. "Good." After the call, Travers told Rose with a satisfied smile that Faith wouldn't live much longer. Collins had claimed the wounds were fatal. her vital organs likely punctured and rendered useless. But that confidence evaporated minutes ago. Rose received a call from an FBI contact. The background check on Faith by the SGC had been flagged in a federal database. The Air Force? Travers repeated, outraged after Rose burst into his office. They ordered the check? Yes, Rose said breathlessly. Our contact said she broke into a secure facility using unknown methods. They confirmed she was using an alias and requested her real identity. Travers growled. Did they receive her full file? Yes, Rose confirmed. It was handled by a different agent. Our contact only learned about it today. No Slayer belongs to any government. US, UK, China, Russia, none of them. Travers hissed. The Slayers belong to the Council. Yes, sir. Get me the Prime Minister, Travers ordered, grabbing his coat. Tell him I'll meet him at number 10. We'll get Faith back. She'll face the Council for what she's done. The Prime Minister and the President know our role. There will not be any resistance. Yes, sir, Rose said. Travers paused at the door. Atwood says his Slayer's been doing well? Killed a few demons already? Yes. Good. Authorize use of the Council jet in New York. I want them stationed in Sunnydale. Have Atwood meet with Rupert Giles as a courtesy. Remind him to stay away from official Council business. And Miss Summers? She is not our Slayer anymore, Travers said coldly. If she interferes, Atwood is to remind her and Rupert that they are backup. Miss Roberts is the recognized Slayer now, not Miss Summers. Yes, sir, said Rose as Travers stormed out. She returned to her desk and made the first of several urgent calls. To be continued.